Hi friends, welcome to our YouTube channel Nairaj Academy. The main aim of this lecture is to discuss about the UPSC main solutions of the signal and systems of previous year questions in a very detailed manner. And if you like the content of our channel, then please do like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon button. We upload a new video, the direct notifications comes in mobile. If any improvements needed in our lectures, then please do comment in the comment section. We will definitely include all those improvements in the coming lectures. So why to waste more time? So let's get started. So now we are going to solve the sixth question. See the question here. If x of n is equal to a to the power of n, u of n plus 1 is applied to an LTI system with the impulse response h of n is equal to b to the power of n, u of n plus 1, then find its response y of n. We need to figure out. So in the question they are given the x of n and also the impulse response h of n also they are given. So now we need to find what is the expression of the output y of n. We need to figure out. And this question is given in the IAS 2008 for the 5 marks. So let's solve this numerical. So for this LTI system, the input is x of n and the impulse response is h of n. Then the output is nothing but it is a convolution of the input and the impulse response. So therefore y of n is equal to x of n convolution of the h of n. We need to figure out. So in the question they are given the x of n expression and also the impulse signal response also they are given. So therefore this is the two expressions. So now we need to find what is the output of this LTI system. So output is nothing but we need to do the convolution of these two input signals, this input signal and the impulse signal response. So therefore now the basic equation of the convolution nothing but sigma k is equal to minus into plus into x of k h of n minus k. So here x of n is there. So in substitute in place of n substitute here k. So therefore e to the power of k into u of k plus 1. So everything is same. Sigma k is equal to minus into plus into. So in place of n substitute k here. So this is the expression we are going to get. And in place of h of n means here repeat h of n minus k. So in the place of n substitute n minus k. So therefore here b to the power of n minus k u of n minus k plus 1. So this is the expression. So now we need to find this one. So if you see carefully here, b to the power of n, so we can write in this manner. So b to the power of n minus k is nothing but b to the power of n into b to the power of minus k. So here the summation is only from minus k. So k is equal to minus into plus 50, but n is a constant value. So when n is a constant value, here b to the power of n is also constant value. So therefore we can take here outside this summation. So therefore y of n is equal to b to the power of n. So everything is same now. Sigma k is equal to minus into plus into a to the power of k, b to the power of minus k. So here we can write in this manner also. So a to the power of k into b to the power of minus k is nothing but a by b whole to the power of k. So we can write in this manner a by b whole to the power of k also we can write. So therefore here u of k plus 1 into u of n minus k plus 1. So this is the equation. Now we need to do simplify. So therefore here what is the value of u of k? So basically u of k is nothing but here. So when k is equal to 0 means it is going to exist. This is nothing but a unit step sequence. So at k less than 0 this value is equal to 0, and at k greater than or equal to 0 its value is 1. So then what is the value of the u of k plus 1? So for the k, so here for u of k we need to do the shift property. So how to do the shift property is nothing but here. So here the initial value is 0 and the final value is infinity. So initial value is 0 and the final value is infinity. So now I want to draw what is the diagram of the u of k plus 1. So u of k plus 1 is also we can write here u of k minus of minus 1. So therefore now, so whatever there inside this one, k minus of, this is the standard way of writing. So therefore k minus of minus 1. So now you need to add minus 1. So now you need to add minus 1 to the initial position and the final position. So you need to add here minus 1. 0 minus 1 is nothing but minus 1. Infinity minus 1 is nearly again infinity. So therefore this is the initial point and it is the final point. So initial point is minus 1. So this is the minus 1. So similarly it goes up to infinity. So this is the diagram. So I am going to remove this one. So this is the now diagram. So this is the diagram of the u of k plus 1. It is nothing but just we have to shift by minus 1. And similarly now I want to draw what is the diagram of the u of minus k plus n plus 1. Because here u of k plus 1 and u of n minus k plus 1. So now I want to draw the diagrams of the u of k plus 1 and u of n minus k plus 1. So here now I am going to write in the standard form, because here k is the x-axis value is a k. So therefore now I am going to write in the standard form, which is nothing but minus k minus of n plus 1. So this is the way standard. So k minus of, this is the standard way. So whatever there inside this one you need to add to the initial and final value. So initial value of u of k is 0 and the final value is infinity. So 0 infinity. So now I am going to add minus of n plus 1. So if you add 0 minus of n plus 1 is again minus of n plus 1, and infinity minus of n plus 1 is nothing but again it is infinity. But here there is a minus. Minus is nothing but a time reversal. So you have to do the reversal property. So you have to multiply by minus 1 or divide by minus 1. So anything is same. So therefore, suppose if you multiply by minus 1 is nothing but again it is n plus 1. If you again multiply by minus 1, it is nothing but minus infinity. So now the initial position is n plus 1 and the final position is minus infinity. So therefore this is the initial position n plus 1. So like this it will be up to infinity. So therefore this is the diagrams. So for u of k plus 1, it is going to exist for minus 1 greater than minus 1. For here, for value n less than 1 only, this is going to exist the value. So now we have to do the product of these two signals. So if you do the product of these two signals, because it is right sided and it is left sided. So here when n plus 1 is lesser than minus 1 is nothing but these two are outside each other. So therefore there is no product. If you do the product of these two signals, it will be 0 because it is here and it is here. So therefore this is the right part and this is left part. When n is less than, when n plus 1 is less than minus 1. So therefore there is no overlap, and if you do the product, it is equal to 0. But here that is the reason. No overlap when n plus 1 value is lesser than minus 1. So therefore n plus 1 value less than minus 1 is nothing but n less than minus 2. If plus 1 goes this side, it become minus 2. So when n less than minus 2, there is no overlap between these two signals. So therefore if you do the product, is nothing but 0. So therefore the output value is 0 for n less than minus 2. So there is overlap. There is overlap for n plus 1 greater than or equal to minus 1. So therefore there is overlap means we can exist non-zero value. So therefore we can conclude that here overlap when n plus 1 greater than or equal to minus 1. So therefore n greater than or equal to minus 2. So simply now we are going to simplify this expression, because now here k, right? So we are going to do the product, because here at n minus 1 here there is now, suppose this is the minus 1 value, here there is non-zero value, but here there is 0. So therefore it is multiplied equal to 0. And similarly non-zero values exist from minus 1 to n plus 1. But if you go n plus 1 above, these values are 0 and these values are non-zero. So non-zero into 0 again is 0. So therefore we can conclude that here the summation is going to go from the region of minus 1 to n plus 1 only, because here below minus 1 this value is 0. So therefore if you do the product, it is 0. Again for n plus 1 above, this value is 0 but this function value is non-zero, but still if you do the product, it will become 0. So therefore now we can conclude that we need to do summation only from minus 1 to n plus 1. So therefore no need to do the summation from minus infinity to plus infinity. It is going to converge to, now we can do the converge from sigma k is equal to minus 1 to n plus 1. So this is b to the power of n, and this is nothing but now 1 into 1 is again 1. So therefore a by b all to the power of k. So now I am going to do the simplification of this one. So now we are going to simplify this expression. B to the power of n sigma k is equal to minus 1 to n plus 1 a by b all to the power of k for n greater than or equal to minus 2. This is the expression. So this is nothing but here b to the power of n. So now I am going to substitute here k is equal to minus 1. So therefore a by b all to the power of minus 1. After minus 1 it is 0, and similarly 1 up to n plus 1. So here if you see carefully here, the number of terms in this expression are, say from 1 2 3 up to n plus 1, means total here from a by b whole to the power of 1 to a by b whole to the power of n plus 1 is nothing but here there are total n plus 1 terms plus 2. So we need to add plus 2. So therefore total there are n plus 3 terms. So therefore see carefully here, suppose from a by b whole to the power of 1 to a by b whole to the power of n plus 1 means there are total n plus 1 terms from up to here, from here to here, and there are extra 2 terms. So therefore we can conclude that there are total n plus 1 plus 2 is nothing but n plus 3 terms. So the basic GP expression is a plus AR square up to AR all to the power of n minus 1. So sum of GP is nothing but here a into 1 minus r to the power of n by 1 minus r, where a is called as the initial term and r is the ratio. So therefore here if you see carefully, if you compare these two equations, the initial a is nothing but a by b all to the power of minus 1. It is nothing but b by a, and AR is equal to 1. A by b all to the power of 0 is nothing but 1. So in place of a, substitute b by a. So therefore r is equal to a by b. So therefore these are the two expressions. So we got a is equal to b by a, first term is nothing but b by a, and the ratio is nothing but here a by b. So therefore we have to substitute here. So here a r all to the power of n minus 1 means there are total n terms are there. So therefore there are total n terms in this expression. That is why there is value of n. Suppose if there are n plus 3 means you have to substitute here in place of n plus 3. The summation is going to tell you there are total n terms in this expression. That's why it is value of n. Suppose if there is n plus 3 terms means you have to keep here n plus 3. See, the number of terms in this expression has to be here n. Suppose if it is n plus 3 means substitute here n plus 3 terms. So similarly, if you substitute here, so the basic formula is a into 1 minus r whole to the power of n by 1 minus r. You know the value of the initial term. Initial term is b by a, and the ratio is nothing but a by b. And here n value, n is nothing but the number of terms in this expression. So in this question there are a number of terms are n plus 3. So substitute everything here. So b to the power of n is common. So initial term is b by a, 1 minus r is a by b, whole to the total number of terms in the expression is n plus 3, and here 1 minus r. R is nothing but a by b. And if it is a simplification of this equation, we are going to get this is the equation. So therefore we can conclude that this is the output value for n greater than or equal to minus 2, and it is equal to 0 for n less than minus 2. So therefore this is the output expression. This is the actual output expression. So it is going to have non-zero value for n greater than or equal to minus 2, and it is going to have 0 value for n less than minus 2. So now we are going to solve the second question. See the question here. Sketch the function f of n is equal to u of n plus 4 minus u of n and express it as a sum of shifted unit impulses. U of n is a unit step sequence. So in the question they have given the value of f of n is equal to u of n plus 4 minus u of n, and we need to write its diagram, and also we need to draw its diagram, and also we need to express in terms of the unit impulses. So therefore where u of n is nothing but unit step sequence or unit step signal. So therefore now this question is given in the IS 2009 for 5 marks. So let's solve this numerical. So in the question they are given the f of n is equal to u of n plus 4 minus u of n. So now I am going to write it in terms of standard form, which is u of n minus 4 minus u of n minus 0. So therefore this signal, this u of n minus 4 is nothing but, so minus 4 is the point, and also n of n is equal to 0. These are the 2 points. So therefore here at of u of n minus n by 4 there is a value of plus 1. So plus 1 means again here plus 1 up to 0. So up to 0 plus 1 plus 1, so plus 1. But at 0 there is a minus, so u of minus. So therefore we can conclude that there is no signal at 0. So up to from minus 4 to minus 1 only the signal is going to present, and remaining things are 0. So therefore we can conclude that here delta of n is equal to this impulse is delta of n minus 4, and this impulse is delta of n minus 3, and similarly at minus 2 the impulse is delta of n minus 2, and similarly at n is equal to minus 1 the impulse is delta of n minus 1. So simply we can write it as delta of n plus 4 plus delta of n plus 3 and delta of n plus 2 plus delta of n plus 1 plus delta of n. So therefore this is the expression. So therefore we can conclude that we have written the function f of n in terms of the delayed unit impulse signal or unit impulse sequence. So now we are going to solve the 8th question. See the question here. Sketch the following function and determine the energy or power contained in a signal. So x of t is equal to u of t plus 5 into u of t minus 1 minus 6 of u of t minus 2. So for this function we need to sketch the function, and also we need to find either energy and also the power. And this question is given in the IS 2010 for 5 marks. So let's solve this numerical. So in the question they have given this is the expression. So this expression we need to draw the diagram and also find what is the energy and the power. So therefore here if you see carefully u of t minus 0. So therefore at t is equal to 0. So take the points. So therefore at t is equal to 1. T is equal to 1, and similarly at t is equal to 2. So therefore these are the instants. So at t is equal to 0 there is a value of 1 because plus 1. So therefore plus 1. So this is nothing but here plus 1. So up to here plus 1. So therefore here up to t is equal to 1. So therefore at t is equal to 1. So therefore at t is equal to 1 there is a value of plus 5. So therefore we need to move up by a plus 5. So therefore 1 plus 5 is nothing but 6. So therefore this is the value which is 6. So because we are moving by a value of plus 5. And here at t is equal to 2. So therefore at t is equal to 2 up to here it is value 6. So again we need to move by down by minus 6. So down we have to do by minus 6. So finally this is the diagram we are going to get here. So at t is equal to 0 we have to move by plus 1 up to t is equal to 1, and then we have to move up by plus 5, and then we have to do at t is equal to 2 we have to move by down minus 6, means down we have to do by 6. So therefore this is a diagram. So now for this function x of t we need to find what is the energy and the power. So energy expression is integration t is equal to minus into plus into mod of x of t whole square dt. See here mod is nothing but we have to take the absolute value, means here the function x of t, this expression is holds for both the real signal and also for the complex signal. So here we are going to split the integral, because for this t is equal to t less than 0 it is 0, and t greater than 2 it is also 0. So the function has a non-zero value set only t is equal to 0 to 1 and 1 to 2. So therefore we are splitting from t is equal to 0 to 1. The value is 1. So therefore we need to do the square, 1 square dt. And similarly from 1 to 2, its value is 6. But we need to do the square. So 6 square dt. So therefore 1 square into 1 minus 0 plus 6 square is nothing but 36. So 2 minus 1. So therefore 1 plus 36 is nothing but 37. So energy is equal to 37 units. And we need to find what is the total power. The average power is nothing but the expression is energy by time. Total energy by total time. So therefore this energy of this total function is 37 units, and the total time is, we have to take the total time. So total time is infinity because we are going from minus infinity to plus infinity. So therefore the total time duration is infinity. So therefore we can conclude that 37 by infinity is equal to 0. So finally we can conclude that the energy value is 37 units and the power value is 0 units. See, if the energy is a finite value and the power is 0, then we say that signal is said to be an energy signal. And if the energy value is infinity and if the power has a finite value, then we say that this signal is said to be a power signal. And if you see carefully, the energy value is a finite and the power value is 0. We can conclude that this signal is said to be an energy signal. So now we are going to solve the 9th question. See the question here. Determine whether the following signal is a periodic or aperiodic and find the fundamental period if it is a periodic. So they are given the function x of n. So for this we need to further find whether this signal is a periodic signal or aperiodic. If it is a periodic, then we need to find what is the time period we need to figure out. So this question is given in the IS mains examination of 2014 for 10 marks. So let's solve this numerical. This is the function they have given x of n. This is the function. So we need to check whether this signal is a periodic signal or aperiodic signal, and then we need to comment on the period of this signal if it is a periodic. So here it is a summation of the two signals. So now we need to check whether these two signals are periodic or not. We need to check. If these two signals are periodic, then compulsory their summation is also a periodic in the discrete time domain. But this is not the case in the continuous time domain. In the continuous time domain, if the two signals are periodic and still their summation can be either periodic or aperiodic. But in here, in the discrete time system, if the signals are compulsory periodic, then compulsory the summation is also a periodic signal. So therefore here the first signal is omega 1. Omega 1 is nothing but a sine omega 1. So omega 1 is 3 pi by 7. So here omega 1 is nothing but 2 pi by n1. So 3 pi by 7. So n1 is equal to 14 by 3. So here always the n1 has to be a purely integer value. But here we got the rational number. Suppose if you multiply by 1, then still it is a rational number, which is 14 by 3. And if you multiply by 2, then we are going to get a still, which is again rational number, 14 into 28 by 3, still it is a rational number. And if you multiply by 3, we are going to get here now integer, so therefore 14. So therefore here the thing is always you need to multiply a minimum value, a minimum integer value. So therefore we are going to get a integer value. So minimum, if you multiply any minimum number to this n1, the output has to be still have some number. So here the minimum value we are going to multiply is 3. So therefore we are going to get the value which is 14. It is an integer value. So therefore we can conclude that this 14 is the time period of the sine function. And similarly for the cos function, we need to find what is the period. So still cos omega n is nothing but here omega 2 is equal to pi by 4. So 2 pi by n2 is equal to 3 pi by 7. And if you solve this one, we are going to get here which is 8. So therefore we can conclude that here 8 is the period of this cos function and 14 is the period of the sine function. And if you add two signals, then the net period will be the LCM of the two function periods. So therefore the net signal period is nothing but LCM of the two signal periods, which is n1 and n2. So n1 is 14 and n2 is 8. And if you do the LCM, we are going to get here 56. So we can conclude that 56 is the period of this function. We can also solve this question in another method. Say I am going to explain another method. So for this function we need to find whether the signal is a periodic or not. So the basic function of the periodicity is x of n plus n naught is equal to x of n. Then we say that the signal is a period of n naught. So therefore here x of n we know. So now in the place of n substitute n plus n naught. So wherever n is there, I am going to substitute here n plus n naught. So now I am going to do the simplification. So therefore this is the thing I am going to get finally. So now suppose let me take here n naught is equal to 7. Suppose n naught is equal to 7, what is going to happen? So if the n naught is equal to 7 means this is the period of the sine function. If n naught is equal to 7, what is going to happen is here now totally this is nothing but here 7 get cancels, because if n naught is 7, so therefore 7 cancels. So therefore sine of 3 pi plus theta is again minus sine theta, but we need only sine of something has to be again sine theta only, but we are going to get sine 3 pi plus theta is nothing but again minus sine theta, but we don't want minus, so therefore we need again the positive value. So therefore now the next value is nothing but here, suppose n is equal to 14. So therefore, if n0 is equal to 14 means 14 into 7 is nothing but here 2. So 3 to the 6 pi. We are going to get 6 pi. Sin 6 pi plus theta is again sin theta. So therefore, we are going to get here. So if suppose the period is 14, we are going to get again this is sin of 3 pi by 7 n plus pi by 4. So therefore, this is the thing we are going to get. And similarly, for this one, cos function, if n0 is equal to 4, what is going to happen is, if n0 is equal to 4, this 4 get cancels. So cos pi plus theta is again, it is minus cos pi theta, minus cos theta. So we don't need negative, we need only positive value. So therefore, if you take here, n0 is equal to 8, the next number is 8. So therefore, 4 to the 8 means 2 pi. So cos 2 pi plus theta is again cos theta. So therefore, it is again cos 2 pi plus theta is again cos theta. So we can conclude that this function has a period of 8 and this function has a period of 14. So therefore, if you take the summation means the net signal period will be LCM of the two periods. So which is 14 comma 8, which is 56. So what I am trying to say is, now I am going to find period of this signal and then doing the LCM. So therefore, if you take anything variable, so again you have to get the sine function or cos function only. So therefore, this is the answer. So now we are going to solve the last question of this lecture. See the question here. A continuous time signal x of t is shown in the figure. Sketch and label each of the following signals. The first one is x of t into u of t 2 minus t, and the second one is x of t into delta of t minus 7 by 2. So in the question they are given the function x of t also, signal also they are given the question. So we have to draw these two signals. First one and the second one we have to draw. So this question is given in the IAS 2017 for the 10 marks. So let's solve this numerical. So this is the function x of t they are given in the question. So we need to find what is draw the diagram of the x of t into u of 2 minus t. We need to figure out. So the basically first what I am going to do is I am going to draw what is u of t. So at t less than 0 the value is 0 and t greater than or equal to 0 its value is 1. So now I am going to draw what is the u of 2 minus t. So u of t 2 minus t is nothing but u of minus t plus 2 is equal to. So therefore I am going to write in standard form, which is u of minus t minus of minus 2. So therefore this is the standard form. So see here for u of t the initial value is 0. So initially at t is equal to 0 its value is 1 and at infinity the value is 1. So therefore at t is equal to 0 and initial value and the final value, which is 0 and infinity, means time duration from 0 to infinity. So this is minus 2. So now we have to add minus 2 for this one. So 0 minus 2 is again minus 2. Infinity minus 2 is nothing but it is again which is infinity. And similarly there is a minus, means reversal, means we have to do the multiplication by minus 1. So minus 2 into minus 1 is nothing but 2. So infinity into minus 1 is again minus infinity. So therefore now the initial position is 2 and the final position is minus infinity. So therefore this is the diagram. So therefore this is the diagram of this one, which is diagram of u of minus t plus 2. So now we need to do the multiplication of these two signals, x of t into u of minus t plus 2. We have to multiply. See when t less than minus 2 its value is 0. So therefore at t less than 2 also its value is 0. So therefore we can conclude that here if you multiply, so it is going to from minus 2 to 2 only this signal is going to present. So therefore this is a graph from minus 2 to this going to from 0. So minus 2 to 0 this graph is going to present, and from 0 to 2 this graph is going to present. So and the remaining all graphs are 0. So therefore conclusion, this is the graph of the x of t into u of 2 minus t. So now we need to draw the x of t in delta of t minus 7 by 2. We need to draw the diagram. So let me assume this is y of t. So this is x of t we already know. So now delta of t is nothing but at t is equal to 0 its value is 1, means its area is 1, not the magnitude value but its area is 1. So therefore that is what I have written here. So this here 1 indicates the area but not the magnitude value, but here we want delta of t minus 7 by 2. So therefore delta of t minus 7 by 2 means at 7 by 2 is nothing but 3 by 5. At 3.5 instant of time it has a impulse of area 1, means it is a shifted version of the delta of t. So now we are going to multiply of these two signals, x of t and delta of t minus 7 by 2. If we are going to multiply these two signals is nothing but here, except at 3.5 remaining all things are 0 because it is 0. So therefore we can conclude that 3.5 is going to lie between the x of 2 and 4. So therefore at t is equal to 3.5 the value is nothing but which is 2. So therefore we can conclude that here it has an impulse of area 2 at 3.5 and remaining all other instants its value is 0. So we can conclude that y of t is equal to, so at t is equal to 7 by 2 the x of t value is which is 2. So therefore into delta of t minus 7 by 2, and this is the y of t. So at t is equal to 7 by 2 instant only it is going to have an area of 2 and remaining all other instants its value is nothing but 0, and this is the diagram, which is the function y of t is nothing equal to x of t into delta of t minus 7 by 2, or which is 3.5. So by this lecture, we have successfully completed the 10 questions which are the previous year UPSC main solutions of the signal systems in a very detailed manner. And if you like the content of our channel, then please do like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon button. So whenever you upload a new video, the direct notifications comes to your mobile. If any improvements needed in our lectures, then please do comment in the comment section. We will definitely include all those improvements in the coming lectures. Thank you so much for watching this lecture. Keep smiling, take care and bye bye.